What's this? What's this? What do we have here? Most interesting. Seems I can't open this without a key. What's this? Most interesting. What's this? I don't think this is a clue. What's this?
You couldn't do better than to show interest in Mr. Heinrich von Bofferton, sir. He is the first Bofferton to step forth from history, the forefather of all Boffertons, the idol in all things, a model of chivalry and heroism if there ever. Without fault or fail, he was the greatest. He was lost on a most noble quest. To Catland he went. Alas, he returned heavily injured, only to succumb to his wounds. Here, some say, he still roams them in search of the cup. If only all of
What's this? I don't think this is a clue. How interesting. What's this? I can't use that here. Interesting. What do we have here? What's this?
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Wiener Vault AM Radio. I'm your host.
It's locked. It's locked.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Wiener Vault AM Radio. I'm your host, Chester Fant. Scrum.
What's this? It doesn't tell me anything new.
I'm sorry, Constable Cat said everyone needs to...
Can I ask why you have a dangerous weapon in your room?
Oh no, you found my saber? The valet keeps telling me not to let it lie around like we are members of a secret society, you see. And we have to practice fighting for the Day of the Duck. That's a very important day for us ducks. Please don't tell Dickens about it, or her ladyship. The valet says they wouldn't like it at all.
Thank you. That's
Aha, my trusted colleague. The current Mr. Blind is an imposter. The real Mr. Blind has been found. He was abducted by the beast of Bo. Now he is safe and sound. Do you have any new information?
I'm afraid.
Good job. Please keep investigating.
You're just AM Radio. I'm your host, Chester Fan. And we return, starting with some telegrams from our...
Hello? It's come to my attention that Algernon and Estragon of Boffington, apparently quite quarrelsome brothers, even though they're twins, died by drowning each other in a nearby lake. Their ghosts are supposed to be still around, presumably to quarrel some more in the afterlife. The lake near Boffington Hall is far too shallow for anyone to drown in. I've personally seen a postcard that proves that Algernon and Estragon are alive and well and managing a diner somewhere on the Sun Coast. I therefore conclude that you are not Algernon and Estragon of Boffington.
How very perceptive of you. I'm not Algernon and Estragon. Least of all because I'm still only one person. I'm glad to hear they're alive and well, though. The way they were constantly at each other's throats, I wouldn't be surprised if they had managed to murder each other by now. I never understood this. It is a great blessing to have a sibling. If you are lucky enough to have one, you should always be kind to one another.
About 100 years ago, there lived a very rich Boffington by the name of Ebenezer. He was incredibly stingy with his money, though, and apparently he hid a great deal of it right before he died. His ghost has been around ever since then to scare away the treasure hunters. The ghostly wailings in Wienerwald Woods are not produced by a ghost after all, but by a giant machine that is hidden behind the old inn. The badgers who run the inn confess that they pretend there is a ghost to encourage tourists to stay at their establishment. I conclude, therefore, that you are not Ebenezer of Boffington.
You are absolutely correct. I am not Ebenezer of Boffington, and I wouldn't want to be. What good are fantastical riches if you don't use them to make yourself and other people happy, and the world a better place?
The so-called White Lady that is haunting the attic seems to be a certain Dorothea of Boffington. She was a very poor relation and ended her life all but imprisoned in a remote part of the house, locked away from the world. There's a very understandable reason to haunt a place, in my opinion. The servants report that the service bell rings very frequently for the White Attic, where Dorothea resided until her death. I have encountered the old lady myself. Dorothea of Boffington is still alive and still inhabits the attic apartment. I therefore conclude that you are not Dorothea of Boffington.
I am glad this misunderstanding has been cleared up. Nobody should ever treat family meanly. Always give them a roof over their head and a plateful of soup, if you can spare it. And they should do the same for you.
According to Lady Boffington, her great-aunt Adelheid haunts this parlour because it used to be the billiard room. Apparently, Aunt Adelheid disapproved of every kind of frivolous pastime activity. This parlour never was the billiard room. The billiard room used to be where the kitchen is nowadays. Adelheid from Boffington was a very keen billiard player who won lots and lots of trophies. I therefore conclude you are not Adelheid von Boffington.
You are absolutely correct. I am not Adelheid Boffington. Dear Auntie Adelheid beat everyone at billiards, me included. I couldn't be her if I tried.
The cook is very distressed about the ghost of Ludwig of Boffington, who apparently died as a result of his endless gluttony, and now haunts the kitchen to steal food. I've personally witnessed the housekeeper filching a bowl of soup from the kitchen. It isn't a ghost at all that's stealing the food. There is a hole drilled into a bathroom wall that comes out directly next to Lady Boffington's bed. The voice she hears in her sleep isn't a ghost, it's just someone hiding in the bathroom.
What a lot of hot rubbish. You clearly need to investigate more.
Look, this is my recreational time. I hope...
I couldn't help noticing that you have quite a dangerous weapon up in your room.
Couldn't help noticing. Have you been snooping in my wardrobe? I always lock my personal...
I'm afraid it is my job to snoop. Regarding that saber.
Your job, eh? If you must know, the foot duck and I have to practice our fencing regularly. In preparation, the Day of the Duck is very important to us ducks, and the posher birds don't look kindly on us lower class. Actually, we've been spreading this rumor that the noise is really a ghost, so nobody will suspect us.
Your secrets are safe with me.
To what?
Actually,
I see.
Thank you for using Crowing Rooster Telephone Services. I'm your operator. How can I help you?
Please give me Wienerwald 466.
I will connect you right away.
Huh, line seems to be engaged. I need to find a better place to think. I really shouldn't use explosives inside. I can't use that here. No need for more light. That's not what dynamite is for. I really shouldn't use explosives. Not the right time or place to use this. I can't use that. On second thoughts, I'm not hungry. This safe is a very good safe. You can't hear the inner workings at all. Maybe if I had a special contraption for listening more closely.
Oh, it's you again.
I think I saw you carrying some food.
Me, carrying food around the house. Well, I never.
A ghost? You're as bad as the cook. She believes there's a ghost haunting her kitchen. Says it's Ludwig of Buffington who... I've seen his portrait, and it makes sense. He's a bit fat.
I beg your pardon. Fat? Ludwig of Buffington fat? Poor old abominable slander.
That figures, because apparently his ghost didn't take the food either. You were bringing food to the old lady that lives in the attic, weren't you?
Oh, so you found out about Aunt Dotty. This is most vexing. Please do not tell Lady Buffington about her. She is only a Buffington by marriage, you see, and not rightfully entitled to any. She couldn't afford to live if she was turned out of Buffington Hall. That's why we decided to hide her from...
But Lady Buffington...
Well, I never thought anyone could be such an unfeeling pig. Anything else?
Could I borrow one of those...
One of my clean, freshly pressed... Anything else?
Could I borrow...
One of my clean... Anything else?
Could I borrow one of those...
One of my... Anything else?
Could I borrow one of those sheets, please?
One of my... Anything else?
Could I borrow one...
One of my... Anything else?
I'm just...
Well, that's the ironing done for today.
What's this? What am I supposed to do with that?
Enemies.
But what a hair-raising tale, Mr. Buzzard. You live a very dangerous and interesting life. Oh, Mr. Big Detective, Mr. Buzzard here has just told us about his adventures. Being assaulted by a criminal and tied up in his bed, and how you took a sock out of his mouth. You are both such heroes.
Yes, it's been a very exciting night. I am glad you are now reunited with your proper lawyer. I'm sure he'll be a great help to you managing your affairs, unlike that Mr. Blind.
Would you care to join us for a cup of tea?
I don't mind if I do.
Well, Mr. George?
Lady Buffington, there is something you should know. This may come as a shock to you, but your Aunt Dotty is actually still alive. She lives hidden away in the attic because she's afraid you will turn her out of the house as soon as...
Aunt Dotty? Alive? This is the best news ever. Why ever did she think I'd turn her out of the house, though? Hiding in the attic.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be glad to hear it. If she can.
How interesting. And
Lady Buffington, I don't know if you've already noticed, there is some clanking in the downstairs corridors at night. Apparently the valet and the foot duck are up to some strange shenanigans. It requires them to do a lot of...
Oh? So that's the reason for the night noise. But servants involved into a secret fencing club is almost as good. I hope they enjoy themselves.
Let's just hope they're not planning an uprising. We might all be stabbed in our bed.
how interesting.
Oh, everything is going
And that's how Mr. George managed to travel around the world in 79 days.
Oh, Mr. Big Detective, would you care to join us for a cup of tea?
I don't mind if I do.
Well, Mr. George,
Yes, about that.
have you investigated the whole house already? I'm sure there's...
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Venavold AM Radio. I'm your host, Chester Fant Scrumply, bringing you the very...
Ah. What's this? Well. really shouldn't use explosives in... I'm not breaking and entering. I'm not breaking and entering.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Venavold AM Radio. I'm your host, Chester Fount Scrumply, bringing you the very best and latest.
I'm sorry, sir. Constable.
Tell me again.
Me and the valet. Please don't.
Thank you. That's... What's this?
Admiring the old general, are you? Isn't he an impressive fellow?
I do like a...
It's a shame uniforms don't look that dashing anymore. The old general was in the war. Sadly, he did not die in the war. He died in it sometimes, late at night. You can hear the clanking of steel on steel in the corridors. That's the old general's ghost, fighting the duel over...
Wait a minute. Didn't you just tell me that you and the valet do a lot of secret fencing?
Oh no. You caught us out, sir. We're telling everyone it's a ghost. They'll forbid it for sure. And we wouldn't like to be unprepared when the day of the duck comes.
And we return, starting with some telegrams from...
The cook is very distressed about the ghost of Ludwig of Boffington, who apparently died as a result of his endless gluttony, and now haunts the kitchen to steal food. I've personally witnessed the housekeeper filching a bowl of soup from the kitchen. It isn't a ghost at all that's stealing the food. I have it on very good authority that Ludwig of Boffington wasn't fat because of all the food he ate. His circumference is the unlucky product of an affliction of the glands. I conclude, therefore, that you are not Ludwig of Boffington.
You are right. I am not Ludwig of Boffington. Poor fellow. Everyone was always making fun of him for being such a fat flamingo. We're usually such slender birds. And he couldn't help it too, because it was all the fault of his glands. You should not make fun of people